All right, and we are back, and we are totally live. Marty Mad Dog Murphy. I'm Matt LaMadeline. We were in discussion. We're trying to figure out the Super Bowl. I do believe you are correct that it's 2 4 seeds.
Yeah, because
We know the Bengals are.
yeah, and I'm almost sure because you had the Packers
Yeah.
were 1,
Right.
the Bucks were 2.
Yeah. Who was 3?
Can't remember who was
Yeah. Well, the Rams ended up winning the division.
Cowboys were 3.
Cowboys were 3. There you go. So yes, it's 4 against 4.
Yeah, 4 against 4.
Yep. Yep. And I'll tell you what, we were just saying how wonderful, great 2 weeks of football has been, and now they're going to ruin it with the Pro Bowl this week. But hopefully, we'll have a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, go Burrows.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my thing: is I want Matt Stafford to win, not Odell Beckham Jr. But I like Sean McVay. But here's my thing: is Matthew Stafford to me has been a good pro for a while. Just played for a real bad team.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, but if Joe Burrows and the Bengals can complete this run, you know what? Good for them. You know, and then I'll be able to say at least that the Raiders lost to the best team
Right.
in the league.
That's the reason why. That's why you want the Bengals to win.
Yeah,
so you're able to turn around and say, "Well, I can't be mad about my team losing because they lost to the best team in football."
Although I will say the Raiders beat themselves that day. Anyways, we will get back to football in just a minute. First and foremost, if you'd like to talk to us, it's 203-753-7593. We are live on YouTube right now. We are live on cable13.com, and we're also live on, Sky13cable.com. And we're also live on, if you're still doing the cable thing, we're on local access channel 13 in Waterbury or wherever you can see us. Please, if anybody wants to call, we'd love to hear from you. We're trying to get the word out that we're back.
Yep.
I don't know, it's not working too well, but at least we know we have a fan in Florida.
Yep.
Or 2 fans. My mom's there too.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna get into the sports. Marty needs to get something off of his chest, and I agree and I disagree. And Marty, we started talking about this last week. Big Papi has officially made it to the Hall of Fame, and I know that just irks you and it bothers you.
Well, what bothers me about it is it proves that the Hall of Fame is not for the best players in baseball. It's a popularity. Because
I would agree that it's a popularity contest. Go ahead.
I'm not questioning Papi's numbers.
Yeah.
But when you have ball players like Palmeiro, Bonds, Clemens, Sosa, McGuire,
Right.
not in the Hall of Fame because they might have used steroids because nobody tested positive.
Right.
And you're saying they don't belong in the Hall of Fame. But Big Papi, who allegedly tested positive for steroids, because we like him and he's a nice guy, he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, here's my thing, though, Marty. Is MLB standing behind the fact that that list of 200 players never got out? Is that their stand here? Because remember that was, I mean, there's a lot of players that would have sunk Major League Baseball if that thing got out.
Their stand is that you can't believe the list the part of the list that got leaked out. You really can't believe it because it didn't leak out all 200 names.
Right.
It leaked 2 players.
Right. And we know it. Nobody liked A-Rod anyway.
Nobody liked A-Rod anyways back then. So A-Rod and Papi Papi's, like I said, Papi's a great ball player. My point being that all these ball players that I named that are in the Hall of Fame all have Hall of Fame numbers.
And there's no question in that.
And here's where the problem is.
You won't get an argument from me.
You've gone through 20 years of baseball, and you've just taken the greatest players out of that 20 years and said, this era never existed. They never played the game of baseball.
Yeah.
That in itself is wrong.
Here's what I will say is, you know, and I know you've always had an issue with designated hitters as well. And Papi was not a fielder, we know that. And we know Papi was just tossed to the curb by the Minnesota Twins.
Right. He spent two or 3 years in the Dominican Republic till Pedro saw him playing in the Dominican and talked the Red Sox into signing him.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what a steal they did get.
Yeah.
And as a Yankee fan, I'll tell you what, I cringed every time Big Papi got up against the Yankees because he always did damage.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always. And to me, that makes him a great ball player.
Like I said, I'm not questioning his abilities. I'm not questioning if he belongs in the Hall of Fame or not.
Right.
I'm saying when you leave all these other great players out and there's a steroid issue, and you know he was alleged to have used it too,
Yeah.
to not basically ban him because he's a nice guy and you like him.
Yeah.
It just totally made a mockery of the Baseball Writers Association's voting,
Right.
because they just prove that they don't know how to do their job and elect the best players that belong in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Well, and my thing too is that, you know what, no matter what we say, like you said, he was on the list. You know, Poppy, you know, people love him in Boston. You know, if there was a sports, you know, Mount Rushmore, his face would be there, you know, in Boston. Doesn't make it right, but, you know, Marty, it is what it is, unfortunately. And baseball continues to just shoot them themselves in the foot, if you ask me, anyways, with everything they say and do.
The biggest point being is that you're turning around and you're picking and choosing an era where if you're going to put 1 in, 2 in, 3 in,
Dad on one? Awesome. Thank you.
You need to put them all in, especially when they have numbers like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Rafael Palmeiro. He's one of the few ball players in baseball history to have a 300 batting average, 3,000 hits, and 500 home runs.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any question that Roger Clemens, just his career alone, you know, and again, Barry Bonds as well. I never liked Barry Bonds. I only rooted for Roger Clemens when he was on the mound for the Yankees because I was never a fan. But I'll tell you what, you're right. I mean, these guys were incredible ball players and certainly had the numbers. And you know what, Marty? These guys are going to get in, I think.
Down the line,
due time.
Yeah, down the line, you will see the Veterans Committee elect Bonds and elect at least Bonds and Clemens.
Yeah.
Because especially Bonds, you can't have
Clemens without Bonds and Bonds without Clemens.
You can't have Bonds, home run king of Major League Baseball.
I know it. That year was incredible. It was. All right, enough about baseball. We will have all the time in the world to talk about baseball, especially since they're striking and nobody really cares.
No, they're not striking. The owners locked them out.
I'm right. I'm sorry. A lockout's going on, and I haven't cared one bit. Have you cared?
No, because the owners don't care. Because the owners, the deputy commissioner of baseball already made the comment that the owners and the commissioner's office is more than willing to lose games to start the season. Okay. So that means they don't even care if baseball starts on time. Which means they don't care about the fans. So why care about baseball?
Right. Okay. Dad, you there?
Yeah, right here.
What's going on? Hey, Dad, I don't know if you've been listening, but there may not be any spring training baseball for you down there.
Oh, I got to sell my tickets then, I guess.
Yeah, well, you'll get a refund, I hope.
I hope so. Yeah, those are $55 seats that I bought.
Yeah. Hey, before I forget, too, we cannot forget to talk about Big Ben retiring. I think he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Dad?
Oh,
Big Ben,
yeah,
Pittsburgh
I think so.
Steelers?
Hey, fantastic, yeah.
You know, I think he may have hung around for a couple years too long, you know. But, 2 Super Bowl wins, Rookie of the Year. I have to think he's a Hall of Fame. First ballot. Yeah, first ballot.
Yeah,
Dad, first ballot, you think, huh?
Yeah.
I think the Steelers are going to miss old number 7, too, you know.
They are. I don't know if they have anybody else ready. Yeah, I hope they have somebody ready.
Well, I think that their first pick will be the best quarterback that's left. I have to say that in the draft, you know.
Who knows? Maybe they'll go after Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a hot pick for a lot of teams, including Tampa Bay.
Yeah, everybody's looking for a quarterback. Everyone that's looking for a quarterback going to be looking either at Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
Right. What do you think, Dad? I know it's not officially official yet, but is Tom Brady finally going to walk away?
I'll tell you, if anybody's talking about anything, it's Brady down here. We love our Brady.
Yeah.
He's the number one Floridian. Nobody wants him to retire.
Right.
And so
except his wife.
He's not making it official.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be here for another year. I really do.
Well, you know what? And that's the thing, Dad, is he had a tremendous year again. Marty thinks that what's her name?
Giselle.
Giselle is pulling the strings, and that Tom is done.
I think she pretty much, because she wanted him to retire after winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Says, I want you to go out a winner. You won the Super Bowl. Let's call it quits.
Yeah.
and he was sticking with, I'm playing till I'm 45. I got a funny feeling that she basically told him this year that when this season's over, we're done, or I'll see you in divorce court.
Oh.
Well, I don't think Tom Brady would have a
How
problem.
about those millions and millions of dollars?
Yeah, well, you know what, Dad? Let's face it. Giselle and Tom Brady are not worried about money because I know they're living down on an island somewhere near you. And at least they were renting Jeter's mansion somewhere down by you.
Yeah, they were at one time, but they're not renting it anymore.
That's right down Boca Grande. It's, probably 20 miles from here.
I think Jeter just sold it for like $29 million.
Oh.
Well, hey, Dad, you know, I'm sure you want to talk playoff football. So Marty and I, we can jump back into our other stuff after. 2 great weekends of football, the past 2.
Absolutely. I can't believe the Chiefs just died out. You know, they had that game so won in the beginning.
Yep.
And, you know, Cincinnati couldn't do anything. They scored 3 touchdowns on their first 3 drives. Wow. I can't believe that was it for them. You know, they didn't do anything after that.
Dad, I was the happiest guy. I was watching the game in Windsor Locks. I was the happiest guy in Windsor Locks when the Chiefs were eliminated, especially after that.
Yeah, for us it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
The Chiefs are our Red Sox.
Yep. And I don't dislike Mahomes like you do, but I'll tell you what.
No,
I dislike the Chiefs, and I'm
just very jealous.
Well, I can say I'm very jealous as well, I think. But to see the Chiefs out was just wonderful for me. That was my Super Bowl. And you know what? Marty and I were talking about it. I'm rooting for the Rams because I like Matt Stafford, and Cooper Kupp is unbelievable. But you know what? I wouldn't be mad if Cincinnati wins.
It'd be nice to see Cincinnati finally win a Super Bowl.
Right. Being that they never won. Yeah.
Rams got a couple. So.
Yeah. No, the Rams won 1 and lost 2, right? Because they beat. Who'd they beat? They beat
They beat the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans, right? They lost early on to the
Steelers in the 70s.
To the Steel Curtain, and then they lost to the Patriots. That's all I know, right? So 1 and 2. Does that sound right, Dad?
Yeah.
There's so many damn Super Bowls now. I can't keep track anymore.
That's the thing.
What do you think? Rams 1 and 2 in the Super Bowl? Lost to.
I don't remember too much about the Rams in the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They were St. Louis. I know that there was one when they were St. Louis. They lost that one, right?
No,
well,
they won one and lost one when they won. They won one and lost one when they were in St. Louis. They beat the Titans while they were in St. Louis, and they lost to the Patriots while they were still in St.
Yes,
Louis.
that was Tom Brady's first Super Bowl. So, anyways, we'll say the Rams are 1 and 2, and Cincinnati's 0 and 2.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Dad?
Well, the only reason I like Cincinnati is because Joe looks like me when I was 25 years old.
Well, Dad, you know what?
That's what Mom says. That looks just like you when we were going out. I said, oh, yeah.
You know, he's a good-looking kid. So, you know what, Dad? I didn't know you went out when you were 25, but I would say that's a compliment for you.
So Joe's my man.
Joe Burris.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. You know, I don't know how Cincinnati has done it. To me, I'm still just bewildered because I honestly think if the Raiders didn't penalize themselves to death and brought their A game, that Cincinnati would have been eliminated that day. But
oh yeah,
you know what?
That's terrible.
Yeah, the Raiders were horrible.
You would say the same thing last week.
Right. And well, my thing was is they went in and they beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
Beat them, and they've made a great run, and going to Kansas City and winning that game it's huge. They deserve to be there. I am definitely not saying.
I think they're going to do well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cincinnati has a good shot at it. I'd be interested to see what the spread is. Do you know?
Right now, Cincinnati's getting 4.5.
Okay, well that's not horrible.
No, that's not horrible.
It's not horrible.
The over is 49. Over under is 49.
Okay, so they're thinking it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, and they had it broken down. If you want to bet on halftime, the over under is 24.
Wow. Okay, that's new, right? I never knew that there was that over under at halftime.
I never looked before, but you can bet on anything now.
Right. Especially in the Super Bowl, you usually can bet on anything.
They have bets on who's going to score the first points.
Okay. So, Dad, one other thing. I think last week we talked about it a little bit when you called in. I mean, those 4 games last week had to be some of the best football I've ever seen. And I've been watching football with you since I was about 7 years old.
Oh yeah.
You know, not to age myself, but would you agree that this is some of the best playoff football that you've seen?
Yeah, it's all the best up and coming quarterbacks, the best offenses, the best defenses. Well, no, not the worst defenses.
Yeah, the worst defenses, right?
Yeah, the best offenses. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Well, between me, you, and Marty, not to age ourselves, we've got a lot of years of football. What do you think, Marty?
I've been watching football forever, and these last 2 weeks, it's the best playoff football I can ever remember.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, even our championship, NFC, AFC championship games, both were decided by field goals yesterday.
Yeah. And,
one in overtime.
Yeah, and San Francisco gave the Rams game.
They did. They did. It's unfortunate because I really was waiting for Garoppolo to choke, and he did at the end.
He didn't choke.
Well, my thing was they had plenty of time to get down the field and kick a game-tying field goal.
It's 4th and 2.
Okay, guys,
why'd you go for it?
Thanks for have a good show.
All right, hey Dad, thanks as always for checking in, and I will talk to you obviously before the Super Bowl. Do you want to kick out your prediction?
Well, I think Cincinnati's going to take it. My man Joe is going to do well. The defense is going to be good, like it was this week.
Yeah.
They can shut down Kansas City. They can win. Okay,
and you want to throw out a score or no?
Let's say. Let's do the same thing, 27-24.
All right. Well, Dad, thanks as always for calling. Love you. Tell Mom I was asking for her and love her too. And good luck down there. You missed a blizzard, by the way. All right, take care. I actually was watching. I stayed home this weekend, Marty, and I was watching the UConn game, and I'm thinking to myself, they were complaining to me about the weather down in Florida. And then the next day, we have a blizzard here, which we all knew it was coming anyways. But I'm like, man, to be in 50-degree weather down in Florida, I'd be wearing shorts right now.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
Unbelievable.
I went to concert last night at the casino with Lee Bright.
Yes. And you said it was very good.
It was a great show.
Okay.
They were half hour encore performance.
Nice.
After the
Nice. You don't see that every day.
No, and one of the comments he made, they drove up yesterday morning to do the show.
Wow.
He goes, you know the difference between here and South Carolina? You guys get nailed with snow. You drive down the road, it looks like it's summertime except for the piles of snow on the side of the road. Because out in South Carolina, you get inches of snow, just stand all over the place, and nobody knows how to drive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've never been down there, but you see it on the news.
Oh yeah.
They get shut down for a month with a storm like this. I just wanted to make sure we touch on everything we wanted to touch on as well, Marty. But Big Ben, 39 years old, 18 seasons in the NFL, and I know that he wasn't always top notch. He was actually out when he got hurt 2 years ago when he was basically played. I was looking at his stats. He played 2 games that year, so he must have, But pretty much, the longevity of these quarterbacks in the league has been pretty impressive. And I'm wondering if these young guys, the way they run, especially Mahomes, Josh Allen, even Burrows, the way these guys scramble and run.
Well, Mahomes has gotten a lot smarter since he tore up his knee.
Yeah.
Now he slides.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the younger guys like Burrows and Allen, where because they're big, strong boys.
Yeah. Right.
They want to hit the guys. Wow. We're going to hit you harder than you hit us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That doesn't last long. That's not going to last long in the NFL. You're going to lose your quarterback early.
Right.
And you got to wonder now with Lamar Jackson for Baltimore.
Yeah, he's been hurt too as well.
Well, you're going to have to find out what kind of thrower he is because he's not injured the last 2 years now. And I mean,
too much running.
How much more can his body take being hit like that?
Right. Well, Marty, like we were talking about, I know you were way down on Aaron Rodgers last week, and you were saying about how these young guns are a lot. Tell you what, Joe Burrow certainly has stepped up, and he looks like he's, in the second year he's playing in the Super Bowl, similar to like Ben, like we were talking about. If he can pull this one off, wow.
Right, but and I wasn't trying to pick on Aaron Rodgers. He was at one time one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
And you always base it on your performance, especially in the postseason.
Right.
And for him to have that prima donna attitude, and in the last 5 years, I think he's gone to 1 Super Bowl and lost.
Trying to think, because we were talking about that. He has 1 Super Bowl ring, right?
Yeah, I think he
that
lost.
They won. They did win once with him.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think they lost twice with him. And he
I
lost.
cannot remember. Like
he-
I said,
he-
too many Super Bowls now.
And he lost 3 times in the NFC Championship
Right.
round.
That's yes.
And
we
he
know
lost
that.
twice in the divisional round.
Okay.
And and got beat by San Francisco 4 times.
Yeah, that to me, I was talking to a Packers fan today, and that loss to San Francisco, 13-10 in the snow was just unacceptable. At Lambeau, that's why it's the frozen tundra. That's why you're there. The Packers, to put up 10 points and lose that game, and I'm not in any way saying that the Niners didn't deserve to be where they were. They went through Dallas. They went through Green Bay. They made a hell of a run.
Yeah,
They really did.
And like I said, the Niners losing yesterday was a case of the head coach of the Niners has already made this decision that Garoppolo's not coming back,
Yeah, they said that too on the broadcast.
and they could not have him taking the team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they were fourth. They were second and 1. They didn't get the first down.
Yeah.
They were 3rd and 2, and they're 4th and 2. Why aren't you going for it and do a play action pass, which they should have did? Matter of fact, what they should have did on third down and 2. Why didn't you call it? You just ran the ball because the coach had no confidence in Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Then why? And my point being, if you don't have confidence in him, why are you starting him in the first place?
Yeah. Well, my thing is he will be a starter next year for somebody else.
Yeah. I can see him. Washington D.C.
Well, there's going to be a lot. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of openings. Let's face it, especially if Brady walks away. Then you're going to have Tampa. You're going to have Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
Well, that was one comment that was made.
Green Bay.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest comments made is Garoppolo will follow Brady and go to.
Hey, you know what? He got his 2 rings right with the Patriots.
Yeah, he got his 2 rings with Brady. So
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Marty. I just cannot get over how good the football was. And, the only thing that would have been better, obviously, is if my Raiders were in it or the Giants were in it, something like that. But here the NFL's on this super high, and now they're going to the Pro Bowl. It's next weekend. Hey, it's whatever. It's the NHL and the NFL will both be in Las Vegas for the All-Star weekends. To be in Vegas would probably be awesome.
Yeah. But,
I love the NHL All-Star game too.
See, here's where the problem is. If they went straight from the championship game to the Super Bowl with no week in between, which they've tried a couple of times.
Yes, they have. They've tried it.
And every time they've done it, people cried that there needed to be a week off between because both teams, after fighting themselves to get to the Super Bowl, needed that extra week. Give their players a chance to mend a little bit at least before they decided championship, and everybody agreed. And then everybody used to complain that after the Super Bowl, they would go do the Pro Bowl out in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
And everybody said, wasting all that money, and why are you bothering after the Super Bowl? So they turned around and they said, basically, we'll do players that aren't in. We'll pick the best players that aren't in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And we'll play the Pro Bowl that 1 week that we have off between.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what. My last gig on the field was a Pro Bowl down in Orlando, and Orlando was not the place to have it, obviously. But the whole Disney, ESPN tie to the game, I get it. But I'll tell you what, it was fun. The weather was not great though, and here's the guys. Some of them are used to going to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. They don't want to go to cold Florida.
Right.
At least they're going to Vegas this time around. So
But the thing being, what you would wish, I mean, it's only an exhibition. You don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
But the one thing you would like to see is a little bit of defense.
Yeah, I would. I would love to see a good competitive game too.
You don't want to see them playing 55 to 40 something.
Right.
I mean, you don't want.
Two-hand touch like they do.
Yeah.
The rules are different.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, you don't want to become the NBA,
yeah, I know.
where the final score of the game is 190 something.
Yeah.
To 180 something. 'Cause
You know, they're getting close, but I don't think they've broke 200 yet, have they? They're getting close, though. They're getting very close. I agree with you, Marty. You know what? It's too bad. I get that it's an exhibition, like you said, but it's, you know, to me, the fans are still paying to see this.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way that they can make this game competitive.
Yeah, and that's it. The fans are paying to see the game. They want to at least see somewhat of a game. They understand you're not going to have the real heavy hitting because nobody wants to get injured or maybe lose their career because of a major injury from a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But at least some kind of contact. I mean, you have contact in the preseason.
2 minutes. Sorry, Marty. Mike, as always, we forgot to thank Mike and Big Al in the back who just take good care of us and make us look good, Marty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They make us look good. So thank you guys as always. You know what? The one thing we didn't hit on was second year in a row there will be a home team hosting the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, there was a ton of San Francisco 49er fans there yesterday at Los Angeles. I mean, it sounded like a half and half crowd.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel sorry for the San Francisco fans that their coach basically gave the Rams their shot to go to the Super Bowl and be at home because they beat them twice already this year, and he basically gave them the game.
Yeah, it's too bad because you know what? I thought, well, San Francisco has plenty of time to get down the field and just kick a field goal to tie.
Yeah.
And then, go into overtime and take your chances, Marty, we're getting the 1 minute thing here, so we'll continue on the Super Bowl next week. Dad, thanks as always for calling, and please get the word out that we're back. If you're watching, tell your buddies and tell your loved ones, and I don't care. Tell your grandmother that we're on. Just go to YouTube and type in Sky SKYE Cable 13 Sports Talk, and we're there, man. I watched us. So, and as always, thanks to everybody, and enjoy your sports. And Marty, one last thing. I saw League of Their Own last night. Great movie. You've seen it, the baseball movie with the girls?
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
You want to see a great baseball movie? Watch that one, League of Their Own, for Tom Hanks and Madonna and Gina Davis. Anyways.
That was a true story.
Yes, it was a true story as well. All right, good night, and enjoy your sports, and we'll see you next week.